On 25th April and 12th May 2015, two large earthquakes hit Nepal, killing thousands, injuring tens of thousands, and destroying homes and infrastructure. 2 years later, the pace of reconstruction remains slow, and many of those whose houses were damaged are still living in shelters. The Asia Foundation launched the Independent Impacts and Recovery Monitoring Project in the weeks after the earthquakes, aimed at tracking changing needs and the impact of the aid response in 11 districts over a period of 2 years. For this project, a large household survey and qualitative research study were conducted roughly every 6 months. Democracy Resource Centre conducted the qualitative research and filmed interviews with locals in some of the research locations. Bhim Bahadur Tamang, 71, from Siaoli VDC in Sindupalchok, lost his house and all his belongings during the earthquakes.
सबै नै जग्गै नै पल्टेको भुइँ घर थियो ढुङ्गाको घर पहिला त अनि सबै अन्नपातको पनि नोक्सानी भयो अनि के गरौँ पाल पायो पालहरू पायो पाटातिर धेरै समय चाहिँ हामी पाटामै बस्यौ त्यो पनि फेरि हावाहुरी आएर त्यो पालै उडाउन खोज्यो अनि भएन भनिकन ल के गर्ने भने फेरि जस्ताहरू किनेर ल्यायो चौतरा गएर जस्ता किनेर लिएर चाहिँ अब छाप्रा बनायो त्यसरी बस्यो त्यसरी बस्दाखेरि नि नहुने रहेछ भनिकन गाउँघरमा यसो आफ्नो इष्टमित्रलाई खोजखाज गरेर ऋणसिन गरेर अनि छोरा पनि विदेश गएको थियो छोरा पनि आयो अनि खेरि बल्ल यो घर अनि उताउति छोराले पनि ल्याएको आफूले पनि टाकाटुको गरेर ऋणसिन गरेर घर बनाएको सर मैले
The first installment of the cash grant that Tamang's family received was insufficient, and his son's savings from working abroad were too meagre, so Tamang had to borrow a large sum to finance the rebuilding. Dil Bahadur Khatri and his wife, who are from the same VDC in Sindupalchok as Bhim Bahadur Tamang, continue to live in their temporary shelter. Khatri's community was temporarily displaced immediately after the earthquake, as their land was at risk of landslides. They were asked to take shelter in a safer place, but had to leave the new settlement after only 4 months.
समस्या परेर अब ज्यान बचाउनको लागि हामी माथि गएको अब रेल पनि भन्यो अनि खेल जान पर्छ भनेर त्यो ठाउँमा चाहिँ माथिबाट पहिरो आउँदैन भनेर त्यतिखेर हामी माथि सर्यो यहाँ आएर हामी बस्दै यसो वरिपरि हेर्दाखेरि अब आएर बसिसकिन्छ र यहाँ अब हामीले केही स्थिति गरिन्छ बाँचिन्छ यहाँ आएपछि बाँचिन्छ भन्ने चाहिँ हाम्रो आशै थिएन अनि खेरि प्रति भइसक्यो त 20औं वर्ष भयो बाँझो बसेको थियो अब हामीले 2-4 वर्ष चाहिँ बस्न पाइएला भनेर त्यसमा खनीखोर्सी गरेर टहर हालेर बस्यौँ पछि फेरि तिनीहरूले गाउँको मान्छे उचालेछन् अब के हो यहाँ प्लानिङ गर्ने तिमीहरू उठ कि घडी ल्याओ अब लाख रुपैयाँ आनाको भन्न थाल्यो हामी लाख रुपैयाँ कहाँ पाउँ हैन त्यो नि सकिदैन कि आफ्नो फर्क भनेपछि अनि हामी फर्केर आएको
Having lost everything and with no means of income, Khatri's family had no choice but to use the first installment of the government's housing reconstruction grant, which was around $500, to support their basic living costs.
50,000 पाछ त्यो 50,000 मध्येमा अब अलिकता रड ल्याछ अलिकता बालो ल्याछ अरु खाइयो सर के गर्ने अब खानु परिहाल्यो
Khatri knows that he could build a wooden house with the total amount of the housing grant, which is around $3,000. But he was not able to use the first installment to lay a foundation, and therefore isn't fulfilling the criteria to be eligible for the further installments.
काठको नसालेर पनि पाउनुहुन्छ भनेको छ म त काठकै नसालेर बनाउँछु भन्ने विचार छ अब त्यही पनि अब ऋण गरौँ भन्देखि पनि ठेकी ब्याज बढी छ उता ठेकी भन्छ उता ब्याज भन्छ धेरै छ अब ब्याङ्कबाट झिक्यो भने पनि अलिकता पछि आएन पैसा भने त कसरी दिनु यही जग्गा भित्र राखेर झिक्नु पर्यो त्यता पैसा दिएन भनेदेखि त अब त्यो जग्गा पनि जाने भयो त उठीबासै हुने भयो फेरि यस्तो समस्या परेछ
The rules of the Housing Reconstruction Cash Grant Scheme, which provides cash grants in 3 installments on the basis of progress and adherence to approved building codes for earthquake-resistant houses, seems to make it difficult for families, like Mr. Khatri's, to recover. Officials agreed that many households needed additional assistance, but explained that the grant was only meant to contribute to safer housing, rather than cover all building costs.
यहाँको स्थानीय स्रोत साधनलाई राखेर त्यही स्रोत साधन प्रयोग गरेर पनि हामी चाहिँ भूकम्प प्रतिरोधी घर बनाउन सक्छौं है भन्ने खालको हाम्रो चाहिँ प्राविधिक त्यस्तो खालको रिपोर्ट छ हामीसँग प्राविधिक विज्ञहरू हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूले दिएको डिजाइन चाहिँ स्थानीय ढुङ्गा माटो काठ प्रयोग गर्दाखेरि बन्न सक्ने अवस्था हुँदो रहेछ फेरि के बुझाइरह्यो भने घर भत्किएपछि सरकारले घर बनाइदिन्छ भन्ने खालको बुझाइ जनतामा रहेको हुनाले यो चाहिँ अलिकति समस्या आएको हो वास्तवमा नेपाल सरकारले सम्बन्धित लाभग्राहीलाई सहयोग अनुदान सहयोग गरे मात्रै हो उले कत्रो घर बनाउने र कति पैसा लगानी गर्ने भन्ने कुरो लाभग्राहीले बुझ्नुपर्ने हुन्छ.
To assist the construction of earthquake-resistant houses and monitor who qualifies for the second and third installments of the housing grant, the NRA and non-government aid providers have focused on making technical assistance more widely available. Engineers are being sent to affected areas for this purpose, but changing building codes and requirements, specific local and personal needs, as well as logistical difficulties, have posed challenges for local officials.
एउटा च्यालेन्ज के छ भन्दा मेजर चाहिँ सबै ठाउँहरुमा एकै नाचको समुदाय हामीसँग छैन एकै नाचको चाहिँ कल्चर पनि हामीसँग छैन एकै नाचको भौगोलिक बनावट पनि छैन एकै नाचको तपाई क्लाइमेटिकल कन्डिसनहरु पनि छैन त्यो कारणले गर्दाखेरि मान्छेको आवश्यकताहरु फरक पर्न सक्छ इकोनोमिक स्ट्याटसको कारणले पनि फरक पर्न सक्छ हैन हाम्रो अब चाइनाको नजिकै भनौं न अलिकति हाई हिल भन्छौं हामीले हैन माउन्टेन एरियामा बस्ने समुदायहरुको चाहिँ घरको अवस्था उहाँको रिक्वायरमेन्ट र त्यसपछि यो अलिकति तातो ठाउँमा बस्नेहरु नजिकै सांगाचोक भनौं हैन त्यो ठाउँहरुको मान्छेहरुको र त्यहाँको जातीयको हिसाबले पनि उहाँहरुको रिक्वायरमेन्ट फरक पर्न सक्छ त्यो एउटा च्यालेन्ज छ उहाँहरुले अगनाको वरिपरि अगेना भन्छौं हामीले हैन जुन आगो बाल्ने ठाउँ भात पकाउने ठाउँ हुन्छ त्यसको वरिपरि चाहिँ सुत्ने चलन होला अलिकति तपाई हाई हिलमा जानुभयो भने अथवा ठुलो कोठा चाहिएला उहाँहरुलाई किचनको रूपमा सुत्ने कोठा भन्दा हैन यी कारणले गर्दाखेरि केही रिक्वायरमेन्ट समुदायको एज पर डिमान्डको आधारमा हामीले जुन टेक्निकल सपोर्ट गर्ने कामहरु त भइराखेको छ तर पनि उहाँहरुलाई त्यो डिजाइन ड्राइङहरुमा सपोर्ट गर्ने काम अलि पछाडी परेको जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ हैन
भन्छ न पचाएर सकेको के कहाँ दोस्रो के लिन जान्छ नि अब के उपाय गर्ने त भन्दा ऋण गर्ने
Earthquake-affected people that Democracy Resource Centre has met frequently complained that the building codes were difficult to follow, mostly because building costs were too high, materials unavailable, or because they were confused as they were given insufficient or contradictory advice on how to build. Dalits, who generally have small or no landholdings and had high rates of borrowing and debts even before the earthquakes, are struggling the most. Where the earthquakes not only destroyed houses but also affected the livelihoods of Dalits, their situation is especially precarious. Ganta Bahadur BK, 78, has been working as a blacksmith near the tourist centre in Paplu in Solukhumbu district since he was 12. This traditional occupation, which has long been in decline, suffered major impacts as a result of the earthquakes.
गरिब भएर एकै ठाउँ झन्ड्याएर मरे ती मसिना बालबालिका छन् तिनीहरूलाई यसो मागी डोली अहिलेसम्म मैले बचाइराखेको छु.
Some groups who survived the earthquakes have managed to rely on multiple sources of income or other assets in order to cope. But most Dalits rely on a single or irregular income source, which means the impact of the earthquakes on their livelihoods has been far more significant than for many other groups. Kamala BK had just begun a tailoring business when it was destroyed by the earthquake, leaving her without any income.
कामै रोकेपछि त अब पैसा त आउने कुरै भएन अब मान्छेहरु पनि त्यति अब सिलाउन ल्याउने पनि कसैले भएनन् अब हामी नै बाहिर थियौं त्यसपछि पनि अलि गाह्रो भयो मेरो नानीलाई अलिकति मुटुको समस्या छ अलि अस्पताल काठमाडौँतिरै लगिराख्नु पर्ने हुन्छ 6 महिना वर्षा दिनमा उसलाई उहाँ पुर्याइ राख्छु मैले अब उसलाई अलिकति मैले टाइममा औषधिहरु किनेर खुवाउन पनि सकिन अब पैसाले पुगेन अलिकति
Single women tend to be experiencing more difficulties in rebuilding their lives after the earthquakes. But for Dalit single women like Aitamaya Bike, the situation is even harder.
मलाई त यो घरै बस्न अप्ठ्यारो छ खानै बस्नै अप्ठ्यारो छ पिरै छन् मेरो छोराछोरी पनि छोरो पनि एउटा भएको पनि त्यत्तिकै रक्सीमा बौलाएर हिँडिरहेछ अनि ऋण पनि दिँदैनन् त्यही चाहिँ अर्को परिरहेछ यो दुखी गरिबले क्या यसले तिर्छे न यसका छोरा न पुइ यो अब यस्तै रोगीले काम गर्न सक्दैन भन्छन् दिँदैन
Given the historical and continuing social exclusion and discrimination of Dalits, the younger generation trying hard to improve their family situation, like Kumar Bike, have limited options.
सबै साथीहरु घरतिर आउन लागे अनि म पनि अब जाउँ भनेर आइयो सबै साथीहरुसित घरमा के बिल्लीबाट होला कसो होला भनेर आइयो हैन आउँदाखेरि अब सबै बिल्लीबाट नै छ नि घर सर लडेर हेरिसक्नु छैन केही छैन वस्तु भाउ त्यस्तै बिल्लीबाट अब हेर्नुस् न यहाँ कमाइ नै हुँदैन रोजगार दिनभरि काम गरेर ल्यायो बेलुका खायो अनि केही बचत हुँदैन अनि के हुन्न बस्न त यहाँनेरि
2 years after the devastating earthquakes, with tens of thousands of people still striving to put a decent roof over their heads, hope that they will receive the assistance they need in order to rebuild is fast receding.
एक छाक खानु पनि पुग्दैन सरकारबाट लो यति सहयोग गर्ने उति गर्ने भने सरकारले पनि समाचार मात्रै सुनाउँछन् सरकारले अझसम्म हेरेको पनि छैन.
Qualitative research conducted by Democracy Resource Centre in 36 wards across 6 districts in September 2016 and 24 wards in 4 districts in April 2017 revealed that disadvantaged groups are finding it harder to recover than other groups and face greater risk of debt and exploitation. Janajatis, Dalits, low-income households, the displaced and the elderly, single women as well as the disabled and other disadvantaged groups generally lack the resources needed to afford rebuilding. Often they even lack the basic means to cope in the aftermath of the earthquakes. Democracy Resource Centre's reports recommend that additional assistance should be provided to these people, and soon.